The footsteps that changed humanity. If I told you that the final footsteps of Jesus on this earth were not accidental, would you believe it? That every place he passed through, every location he touched, carried layers of profound meaning, not only for religious history, but also for our own spiritual journeys. These places were not merely the setting of a tragedy. They were living stages of redemption, where time met eternity, where suffering transformed into love, and where humanity was confronted with the truth about itself. In his final hours, Jesus walked through 8 locations in Jerusalem, each revealing a different dimension of his mission: love, humility, fear, betrayal, distorted justice, humiliation, sacrifice, and ultimately the triumph of love on the cross. Just as you walk through a city and remember certain streets tied to your own memories, joy, sorrow, farewells, turning points, the journey of Jesus was similar, except his journey was magnified 1,000-fold. Every place he touched became a witness to the story of salvation. Today, millions of pilgrims still walk those same streets, feeling the sacred energy embedded within the stones. Let us walk that journey again, slowly, reverently, from the quiet room of the Last Supper to the garden soaked in agony, through the unjust trials, the painful road, and finally to Golgotha, where love was sealed in blood. And when we finish this journey, you may see your own life with new eyes. At the upper room, love and humility. The journey begins in the upper room known as the cenacle, located on Mount Zion. This is where the transition from the Old Covenant to the New Covenant took place. The sacred meaning of the Last Supper. During Passover, the Jewish people remembered God's deliverance from Egypt. But on this night, Jesus redefined every symbol. The bread became his body. The wine became his blood. The sacrificial lamb was no longer an animal, but him. This was the moment the new covenant between God and humanity was declared. The astonishing moment, Jesus washes their feet. While his disciples argued about who was the greatest, Jesus did the unthinkable. He knelt down and washed their feet. In Jewish culture, this task was reserved for the lowest servant. This was not a ritual, not a performance. It was a declaration of the power of humble love. Today, the cenacle remains a place of silence and reflection, reminding all who enter, true power is not in status, but in service.
True dignity,
the Garden of Gethsemane, where fear meets obedience. Leaving the city, Jesus and his disciples crossed the Kidron Valley and entered the Garden of Gethsemane. The name means oil press, and fittingly, his spirit was pressed to its limit here. The agony of a true human being here. Jesus experienced fear, loneliness, inner turmoil, anxiety so intense that his sweat became like blood, a condition known as hematidrosis. His prayer shook the heavens. Father, not my will, but yours be done. This was the prayer of a real human, but also the declaration of the Savior. The beginning of betrayal. Judas entered the garden with soldiers and signaled Jesus' arrest with a kiss. Yet surrounded and threatened, Jesus stood firm and said, I am he. Just 2 words enough to make the soldiers fall back. Today, ancient olive trees, thousands of years old, still stand in the garden. Silent witnesses of the moment humanity broke, but salvation began. The house of Annas. The threat of religious power. Jesus was not taken directly to Caiaphas, but first to Annas, Caiaphas' father-in-law, and a former high priest who still held significant influence. A secret interrogation. This was not a public trial. It was a hidden interrogation. Annas questioned Jesus about his disciples and teachings. Jesus answered, I have spoken publicly. Ask those who heard me. A guard struck Jesus across the face. But Jesus calmly replied, if I spoke wrongly, testify to the wrong. But if I spoke the truth, why strike me? The message of this place. Truth is often attacked in darkness, Religious power sometimes fears truth more than sin. Even cornered Jesus refused to betray his mission. The house of Annas may not remain physically, but its lesson remains eternal. The Sanhedrin, an illegal but destiny-shaping trial. At night, Jesus was brought before the Sanhedrin, the Jewish council. Although the law forbade trials at night or during feasts, they proceeded anyway. A trial built on lies. False witnesses contradicted each other. Caiaphas pressured Jesus to proclaim himself the Messiah. When Jesus declared, "I am," they accused him of blasphemy. He could have stayed silent and escaped, but he chose the truth even at the cost of his life. Today, in the ruins of Caiaphas's house, visitors descend into the dungeon, believed to have held Jesus, a chilling reminder of injustice. The palace of Herod mockery, covered in royal light. Learning Jesus was from Galilee, Pilate sent him to Herod Antipas. Herod wanted a spectacle. Herod cared nothing for truth. He wanted entertainment. But Jesus remained silent, worked no miracles, made no defense, offered no plea. Silence stronger than words. There was no anger, no bitterness, only sacred silence. Herod mocked him, dressing him in a royal robe. But they did not know that before them stood the King of the universe. And the praetorium of Pilate justice balanced on a blade. Pilate knew Jesus was innocent. His wife even warned him not to harm that righteous man. But when the crowd screamed for crucifixion, he gave in. The cruelty of misused power. Jesus was scourged with metal-tipped whips, crowned with thorns, dressed in a mock royal robe, mocked as a false king. This scene revealed human cruelty, the emptiness of earthly justice, and the quiet victory of divine love. The way of the cross. Via Dolorosa, the road of suffering, Jesus carried his cross through the streets of Jerusalem, a path now known as Via Dolorosa. A path of pain. He fell, grew faint, bled, was beaten, saw the world blur through pain. Simon of Cyrene was forced to help him carry the cross, and unknowingly stepped into the greatest story ever told. Women mourned for him, but Jesus said, "Do not weep for me, weep for yourselves." A quiet message. The cross is not only a symbol of suffering, it is a symbol of love that lives. Today, Via Dolorosa is crowded, but those who walk it feel a sacred silence settle upon their hearts. Golgotha, where love defeated death. This is the climax of the story. At Golgotha, Jesus was crucified between two thieves. One mocked him. The other pleaded, "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus replied, "Today you will be with me in paradise." The final moments, soldiers cast lots for his clothing. The crowd mocked. The temple curtain tore in two. The earth shook. The sky turned dark. And he said, "It is finished." Not a defeat, but a victory, not an end, but the beginning of new life. The calling of these 8 sacred places, Jesus' journey through these 8 places, teaches us love is shown through action, not words. Humility is stronger than power. Truth is stronger than lies. Obedience is stronger than fear. Silence can be stronger than resistance. And suffering can lead to redemption. Above all, this journey invites us to reflect on our own choices. If you were standing in one of these 8 places, the upper room Gethsemane, the house of Annas, the Sanhedrin, Herod's palace, Pilate's praetorium, the Via Dolorosa or Golgotha, how would you respond?
Our greatest victories.
Would you stand for truth or stay silent? Choose love or retreat in fear? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your answer.